Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off. Online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up. Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we are joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey goaltender Travis Ridgen, also known as Trav for Oilers on YouTube. So Trav has been on the show before, as he was on episode 48. So it's been a while, but it's good to get him back on. Travis most recently played on the Varberg Vipers overseas in Sweden in Division 3, and has had a tryout for the Haugesund Seagulls in Norway recently. And while all doing that, Trav is also one of the hosts for the podcast called Slangin The Bizkit with Pat Shea. So go check out that podcast. It's a unreal podcast, 100% highly suggest it. So it's gonna be a fun episode, Trav. So welcome to the show, Travis Ridgen.
Thank you. I heard that podcast sucks. I heard Slangin The Bizkit's in the shitter these days.
I heard
that co-host needs to go.
The best one in the world. The best one in the world.
One of their co-hosts need to go. That Shea guy is carrying the mail.
Yeah, that Trav guy, they don't need him. Pat's the one carrying the load, man. There.
Give him a severance for 2 weeks and get him out of there.
Yeah, put the 2 weeks in and let him go after that.
No benefits, man. Health and dental, you're cut. See you later.
Yeah, absolutely. But how's things going with you? Like, it's been a wild last year for you. So how's everything going with you?
I mean, it's unstable as it always has been. You know, it's never a dull moment. Like, airlines lost my bags and my tryout. Here's a little sneak preview for you. So tomorrow's vlog, they lost my bags again. That's amazing. They're 2 for 2 on my trip for losing all my gear. 2 for 2, man. They really know how to do it. Didn't get reimbursed either.
Back?
No, well, I got the gear back. I filed claims on both of them. I'm like, can I get reimbursed for my baggage fee? They're like, nope, sorry, we gave you your bags. I'm like, literally, you almost cost my tryout. You're not, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that basically sums up my life, my podcast, my YouTube vlog, and me as a person. Lose your bags, get it back, no refund, fly again.
A little bit of craziness every day for you. That's one way to put it.
It's never a dull moment, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
dude, that's one of the reasons why I started the vlog. I was just like I love creating videos and whatnot, but I was just like, there's so much shit going on in my life. Like, might as well film it. Maybe get paid for it too. Like, why do it for free? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And you may make a lot. You make a lot of money out of that, huh?
I don't make a lot of money, but I do put up some views, which is kind of nice. And
hey,
honestly, just like
counts.
Yeah, honestly, dude, just like the fact like what I'm sharing is like touching people in ways that just like inspire them. They get them thinking things differently, like just knowledge, entertainment, education. Like, dude, trust me, like if I can get a job that paid better, I definitely would, because this does not pay the bills the way that I wish it did. And it doesn't exactly come with, pension, like we talked about earlier, dental, health, all that kind of shit. But like, it's the greatest job in the world, because like I get to play hockey every day. I get to like communicate with people that I love, like yourself, anybody else like me, like I get to like share that with goalies, people that are just as passionate. You get a couple dickheads and meat sticks that think that they know what's up, and meanwhile it's like, dude, yeah, like you peaked at fucking Pee Wee AA, like get out of here, put the crack pipe down, go back to school. But it's just the greatest thing in the world. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I read your comments, and like sure there's a lot of like all the like down that be down and like give you shit for everything you do, but like there's a lot that's like your inspiration, like that, like your work ethic and like attitude has changed in the past like 2 years, and just like you're an inspiration to a lot of people. And just by doing the podcast, like even I get that, like I'm sure you guys do too, like you inspire people along the way, and just having these high quality guests on and just having like conversations with them, like to really like get you to like know the person, you don't really like, you may have met them in person, you may not, and like you just really like get to that personal side that you really don't see from the athletic side of things.
That's part of the magic though, is like feeling like somebody, like there's like in social media, like influencing 101, if you're going to call it that, like the name of the game is to get somebody to care, like whether you love me, you idolize me, and like you want to buy tickets to my next game, or you hate me and want to burn my house down. Like if you're either one of the two, like I've won, because you care, you're invested, you're going to watch. Maybe down the line I convert you, maybe you want to buy a shirt, you want to buy some Trav's Pro Laces, promo code Trav sucks, any of that kind of stuff. Like being in the middle where like you just don't care, like man, I'll move on, like that's the worst. And like there's something to be said too about like you post a video, you share a podcast, whatever, and like the person on the receiving end feels that they know you on a personal level, and like you even further bridge that gap by like responding to a DM and email coming on like your podcast or whatever. Like it's like I hate the idea of, because I've had it happen so many times to me, is like you see somebody online that you like, you're into their shit, and like the worst decision you ever make is trying to get to know them or try to understand them, and you're like, man, like you're an absolute asshole, you're a real dick, like you don't give me the time of day, it's all about you, and you're just not a good human being, like you don't care about people. And just trying to bridge that gap to like build that relationship. Although in reality, like we don't have a relationship, because like I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm just on your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever you're streaming on your iPad. But that's the name of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like you said, like you're just getting to know the other side of the person, because like you don't see that, because like it's all about that person. You don't really see personality on like the TV or anything, but like when you get into these conversations, like we're talking before the episode started, like you get to see that personality, and it's all about like that personality and having people like learn your story and learn where you came from, and just to get to where you are, and just think that you know them. And like even I've had guys that I've had on the podcast that I haven't met, and then they come to Illinois, and like I go out to eat with them, like just like meet them and just talk to them, and they become good buddies of mine. It's crazy like what the podcast world and like the real world can bring, especially like if you guys have like a common trait, like with hockey, with goaltending, like anything like that.
That's the side note that kind of drives me nuts these days. Like in the last 2 years since the COV, and we won't get into it too much because I don't like naming it, but like it's driven so many people apart just for whatever reasons. But like the reality is, like if you disagree on shit like that, you're usually like one or two things away from like having a bond, having a connection. You know what I mean? Like you like hockey, I like hockey. I love McDonald's, you love McDonald's. Like you're into trains and ships, so much. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many like little small dinky little shit that like you can pick up on that can build a friendship, build a connection with somebody. And it's honestly, as an adult, like I've kind of gotten into that. Like that really gets me off.
Yeah, and it's just goes a long way to say like everything that like the podcast has become, or everything life's become hockey, like the world, like you get so much closer with guys that you like have common traits with, obviously. And just having like a resource like this, a podcast, like it just like explains like the stories so differently than you could ever explain to someone else.
Well, you can't fit them in an 8-minute vlog, I'll tell you that much. Sometimes you need a full 45 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going into the vlogs a little bit here too, like what's it been like going to a new country in Sweden and Norway, and just vlogging with the team and everything, and just everything that comes with like the side of like the YouTube side of things, with combining it with hockey?
You know what's so nice about the European guys and specifically the Swedes? Like the Swedes are so non-confrontational. Like hockey over in Europe doesn't have like the same like everybody's chirping, everybody's hitting that kind of like grit that North America has. Like everybody's like very laid back. So like I have, honest to God, in 2 years of being here, never one time have I ever been chirped for a camera, for the vlog, for like I'm just appreciated. I'm treated like a normal, average, everyday Joe, as opposed to North America. Like every 3 seconds, somebody's making a comment. Where's the camera? They want their 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like the guys have just been
Yeah.
very, very nice. And the thing that I like about it too, in North America, you see guys all the time, like out and about vlogging. But like in Europe, it's like a lot more uncommon. So like when I go out in public and I have like my tripod, my camera, my microphone, it's almost like a walking billboard because people see it and they're like, what is he doing with that camera? Like, what's he going to do next? You know, like their eyes like glued on you. And then I finish my spiel on the camera and then they're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I do YouTube videos. Here's my channel. Check it out. Like I went to an event. Well, actually like the game that I was at in today's vlog with Wallstead, dude, I must've pocketed like 50 subscribers that day just because like people are like, what are you doing with the camera? Oh, this is what I do. Like people are just open-minded to it because they don't see a lot of it. It's really, honestly, really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome because you wouldn't really expect that, or you'd say like you'd expect it to be like people like, oh, what are you doing, like in a bad way, but like in Europe, like you said, like it's different. Like your eyes get glued, or their eyes get glued to you because of that, and then they're into what you're doing because you're like, oh, that's pretty cool and stuff like that, and like check out your channel. Like it must be like a really good feeling, like when you have subscribers and fans come up to you and be like, hey, I watch your videos and like I really enjoy them, or something like that, especially at the games, like you were with Wallstead there.
Dude, one of my favorite parts is especially when I'm with like other people or like boys on the team or guys that I know. Somebody comes up and it's like, dude, I watched the last vlog, it was awesome. I'm like, oh really? You're gonna love the next vlog too. I'll see you on Monday. You know, always upselling. I think the best getting recognized moment or whatever probably would have been like last year, like in Canada. So like obviously knowing Canada, they love their masks and their COVID restrictions and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I walk into the grocery store, I go grocery shopping, whatever, pick up my shit. And I'm at the checkout line, guys, just scanning everything through, running through the tail, like beep, beep, beep. Would you like to buy a MasterCard? No. Carry on. Would you like to make a donation? No, I'm broke. Can you make a donation to me? Nope, can't either. So he's just carrying on. And dude looks at me, he's like, dude, I love Monday's video. It was really good. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Trav, I watch all your videos, dude. I love your videos. And I'm like, how do you even recognize me? He's like, dude, I recognize that mullet from aisle 7. I'm telling you. You know?
Yeah, people dig the mullets, and they'll notice it whenever it's publicized on YouTube.
Dude, I get grilled all the time. People like, get a haircut, you hippie. It's time for, dude. I've been growing the mullet before the Rona. Like I started growing this thing like mid 2019, and in 2020 it regained popularity. And in 2021 it was the most popular haircut of the year. I was doing it before all of them. So all these guys coming out of the woodworks, like, I got a mullet, I'm bringing it back, dude. Me and Larry and Ticer, just gonna send it. Larry and Ticer, we were cutting edge, and Billy Ray.
Yeah, and just you're the OG of the new trend. Just look up Trav for Oilers on YouTube, and you'll see 2019 Trav with the mullet bringing back that trend.
Whoa. Started to grow it out in 2019.
Or starting to grow it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think by the end of 2019 we had like the wings, that like good sized wings coming out of my hair, and then middle of 2020, like right after the Rona struck, is when I made the first cut to go into a mullet, and then August of 2020 we went full mullet, and then just kind of like ever since then the back has just started to kind of come in. Actually, I had it down to about here like a month ago, and I was like, you know what, I gotta dial her back a bit. It's getting a little bit out of control here. So she's back in regular running order now.
Yeah. How many comments do you usually get about, oh, you should get your hair cut, or anything like that, or get rid of the mullet?
Dude, there's a lot of comments like that, and part of me wants to keep it because it's good for the engagement. People keep commenting on it, but I think the best comment I ever saw that just I couldn't help but like laugh. Some guy was trying to argue with me about how look at the NHL. Nobody in the NHL has a mullet, right? You can't be a high quality goaltender with a mullet. I'm telling you, mullets will kill your career. They kill any technical foundation. I'm thinking in my mind like, okay, well, who in the NHL is bald? Okay, not many guys are bald. Who has a faded haircut? Who has a buzz cut? You know what I mean? Like your hairstyle is all personal. Like my hair has nothing to do with me stopping pucks. If anything, it distracts people from stopping pucks.
Yeah, and people just be see the mullet out of the bucket, and they'll be like, hey, that's pretty sick Sick deal.
Oh yeah, we're letting her fly back there, buddy. Dude, when I'm skating on the bench on that delayed penalty call, you see it bucking in the wind. She's flying.
Yeah, and like I get the same thing with my hair. Like everyone's like, you should cut it. It's way too long. But it's like I like the flow out of the bucket. So that's what it's all about. Is the flow out of the
Oh yeah.
bucket.
Well, and also, I don't have an employer or anything to answer to, so I can just let it go as long as I want. If I had an employer, I'd probably have to cut it.
Yeah, exactly. And people are like, oh, you should cut it. It's too long. It's too long. I'm like, I just gotta let it fly in the bucket. And like when I skate, like you can see that thing bopping. Like that's all that really matters.
Oh yeah, take the helmet off, give it a little Prince Charming shimmy shake.
Absolutely. But put some water in it and shake it
No,
all
no,
out.
no, 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 dude. You need the volume. Keep the volume. No water in there.
Well, I'll learn from that one. I won't do that from now on.
No water on the ice in the hair, head and shoulders, none of that 2-in-1 shit. You got to do shampoo and conditioner. No shampoo, conditioner, 2-in-1. You can't do that shit. You kill it all.
Hair 101 with Trav. There we go.
My morning routine video will be coming in spring of 2022. Stay tuned.
Oh, when is it gonna be released, or is it just sometime in the spring?
It's an everyday thing, man. It's a lifestyle. There's no routine video coming. It's just a lifestyle. You got to live it. You got to embrace it or you don't.
What is Trav's hairstyle routine though?
Oh, dude, I wash this shit once a week. Actually, today was my washing hair day. Comb it 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Give it a little comb. I don't know. That's about it. I check it out regularly. I'm like, oh, does it look good in the mirror? Oh, yeah, it looks pretty good. That's about it. Pretty simple.
Yeah, always got to make sure it's looking good whenever you get in front of the mirror. That's the thing that you're gonna be looking at.
Just
gotta
keep
look
her in
good for
check.
the ladies.
Yeah, just keep her in check. Keep her tight. Make sure the woman's happy. Make sure mom's not too disgruntled. She's not going to be happy no matter what you do, but you got to try to win over a few people along the way.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about, is winning over people for sure. Yeah. So you've visited a ton of places over the last year, a ton of countries, especially Sweden and Norway. Like, and your love for ships, boats, and trains are prominent, especially in your videos. Like, what goes into, like, what started that like thing for boats, ships, and trains?
Dude, I get like 30 milligram rock hard just thinking about this shit. Like, I think it's something along the lines of, like, whether we're talking on a ship, plane, train, whatever it is like, it's a man-made moving object that takes you on a journey from one place to another, from point A to point B, but along A to B is a journey itself, as well as the final destination. Like, for me, a plane is exciting because it gets you to Sweden, it gets you back home, right, or whatnot.
Yeah.
Or a train, like, it stretches out that journey to create its own adventure along the ways. Ships too. Like, I find it so fascinating. Also, just the fact that, like, that ship moves. You know what I mean? Like, you have, like, in the last vlog in Norway, you have this ferry thing that is 100 feet in the air, 150 feet high, like just a massive boat. And, like, you eat, sleep, drink, all that kind of stuff. You have pools on the ship. You're in a pool. There's a pool in the pool on the ship, and that thing floats and it moves at like 40 kilometers. And, like, it blows my mind. And I think too, it's just in film, like, you want moving things, like things that move, kind of, put into context, like a time, like clouds moving, the sun moving, the train moving, cars moving, any of that kind of stuff. It puts into perspective. And I just thought that that's a really cool way to do it. And in that area too of Norway, there isn't really any trains, just like buses and ships. And I'm like, well, buses kind of suck, so we'll go with the ship. Boom.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about all that stuff and, like, how much it weighs, and then you put, like, a little engine or a little motor in it, and how it's able to move from point A to point B, like you said, and how, like, a plane's able to get up from, like, everything that, like, how heavy and how it's all pretty much made of metal and all that. And, like, it's amazing how all that is able to just move from point A to point B.
Think about that. Like, in the course of, like, let's say a year, how many bad things happen on planes? Maybe like one, maybe two.
Yeah.
And how many millions of, like, maybe even billions of flights take off every single year? Like, just the fact that, like, it goes from zero, it gains speed so fast, it picks up, it goes into the air, it hovers at 20, 30, 40,000 feet, goes for an hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on how far you're going, and then it comes down, boom, you're at your destination. Like, that shit just fascinates me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy to think about. How long would you be just sitting at doing time lapses of the ferries and the boats that pass in Norway?
Dude, that clip of me on the bridge, like talking about
Yeah.
the planes or the ships. At that point, I was literally standing on that bridge for 2 hours. Like I got up first thing in the morning. I walked down there like right at dark. I started doing like a time lapse of just like nothing. The ship comes through. I do my pieces, and I was there for like 2 hours, freezing my ass off. And I had to walk back. Like it all depends, like what I'm waiting for. Like I went like I call it train chasing today, like to try to get some clips of some trains. Sometimes I'll sit there for like just for an hour. The car is off. I'll just put the camera on or the tripod on the roof of the car, on the grass. I'll just sit there and I'll just wait, patient, you know,
Yeah,
wait for it
people
to
are
come.
probably like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" But just admiring all the ships and the boats and what makes it move from point A to point B.
Dude, look at my Instagram story today when I was asking for help with the live stream of the game. You saw like I was blocking the road. People are like, "What is going on?" He's blocking the car, the road. It's a one-way road, and he's got the tripod on top. Like, what is this bonehead doing, lady? I'm working. I'm working here. That's what I'm doing.
Getting that money, getting paid. It's all it's all you're doing.
That's one way to word it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so you've took a plane with your hockey gear. You've took a train with your hockey gear. Now you got to go on a boat with your hockey gear and take you somewhere with it.
Dude, I was literally just on the phone with Rob from Butt Ends. I was on the phone with him like a half hour ago talking to him about like travel and stuff. And I was like, I've always been fascinated by the ships, and I've never been on a cruise ship. Like, yeah, you've been on a ferry going here and there, but that doesn't
Yeah.
really count. And I was like, what if I like looking into like a long distance ferry, like a transatlantic, and I'm like I'm looking, I'm like, okay, Europe to USA. I don't need anything fancy because I know that some of those can run you up like $20,000-$30,000 in
Yeah.
7 days. Sweden, UK, London to New York is like 3,000 euro, and I'm like, holy dude, I will never be able to afford that. Trains and planes, it is.
Yeah. So where's the like your dream place to take from a boat from point A to point B? Like where do you want to go?
I mean, if we're just talking on like convenience, I'd love to go from like Gothenburg or Stockholm to I guess New York, because then New York I could take a train back home to Canada, or I don't know, Vancouver. I want to end up in Vancouver. I really love Vancouver. So yeah, probably Gothenburg to Vancouver, Stockholm to Vancouver would be kind of nice if that was possible. I don't even know if you'd do that real because you gotta go up around the Arctic and then back around
Yeah.
Asia and then come to Vancouver. So that could be a little bit of a milk run, but you probably got nothing else to do in that time anyway, so might as well.
Yeah, you could just party on the ship while you're at it and just have a good time. Forget about where you're going
That's why they got the
until you're
party
there.
rooms. They got the pools and everything. They got everything. They got a casino in there. They got everything you need.
Yeah, like there's been shifts where there's you see like three pools, like they get like a video game room, a casino, like it's crazy what you could put on a ship and have it still move and move well.
Yeah, dude. Like I've been talking to it's like MHH, goaltending hockey. It's basically
Yeah,
the goalie school that Curtis McElhaney works with.
yeah,
And talking to one of the guys about maybe doing something in like Colorado this summer because I'm trying to plan like in just trying to keep a plan open for the summer if Canada goes into like a COVID crazy lockdown again because I
yeah.
can't do another summer like that. And I was like, man, like to come into Colorado would be kind of cool. But like, what if I did by train? I'm looking at Amtrak, like to go from like San Francisco to Colorado, spend some time with Mac and those guys, and then head down to Chicago to New York, and then get down to Florida for the summer and whatnot. I got like some stuff lined up there in Florida, like just taking the whole train across the US would be really, really, really cool. I know I'm not a train travel vlogger, but I'm fascinated by it, man. If I could stop doing hockey videos and be a train travel vlogger, I'd do that today. Sign me up. Where's the paycheck?
Trav's not gonna record on anything hockey related. It's just gonna be train related now.
Dude, I've thinking about that today. Like you saw I don't know if you saw like the reel that I posted on that hot dog
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
Dude, that did like 100,000 views on TikTok like in one day. And I'm like, man, maybe I should just quit hockey vlogging. And you know what I mean? Like I'm a hockey guy. I post
yeah.
hockey videos, and a video on a fucking hot dog does more views than half the stuff I put. Like, it's wild. It's crazy.
It's the most basic things that get the most views, and I don't even know how to explain it because some of those things that get TikTok famous like that and all that is just like stupid stuff, and it's just somehow people like that.
Dude, it's a lottery. Like literally, I was describing it to somebody today. It's literally you put your money in, and your money is in the form of like video content, and you pull the switch, and you're gonna find out if you won the lottery. It might take a week, it might take a couple days. Like both of my TikToks that have hit over 1 million views, I got 2 of them right now. Both of them did well out of the gate. Like 10,000 views, 5,000 views, and then it just sat there for a day or two, like just no views, and all of a sudden, boom, phone's just having a seizure, like views, comments, likes, all this stuff, and it just goes from there. Like it's crazy how the TikTok algorithm works. If only YouTube was like that. YouTube is just so stiff. You never know what's going to work anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy how technology has come throughout the last few years, even like decades, even. And it's just crazy how it's evolved from where it was like maybe 2010 to where it's at 2021 now.
Well, dude, we're on a video call right now. Did a podcast. I think about that. That wasn't happening in 2012.
Yeah, that was it. Not even 2015, 2016. It wasn't even happening. It's crazy.
Tough with the connections and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about the train trip from like San Francisco to New York, but are you gonna do any like hockey trips throughout that time in the summer, or are you just gonna focus on training in Canada or wherever you're able to, honestly?
I got a lot of things that are going to take into consideration. Like first off, like my woman back home, like she's been like really, really supportive, and like I haven't seen her like I guess coming up on 6 months now. So I gotta spend some time with her at some point. Like I owe her that time because she's just been so good to me and supportive. So I don't know when I'm gonna go home, but at some point I will have to. And I was planning maybe like a month, 2 months at home ish. Obviously, like I've told her this a million times. Like it all depends on like what Canada's doing for COVID. Because like after spending, I spent I guess 4, 5, 6 months in Canada, like right at the beginning of the pandemic when it wasn't really bad. And then I go to Sweden, I get like 100% my life back. They shut hockey down towards the end, which wasn't too bad. And then I come to Canada for 9 months where it's just like you can't leave your house without the cops showing up. Like, dude, literally when I hopped on the plane to come back here, I was like, I am not doing that shit anymore anytime soon. Like I love my woman, I love my family, but like I am in zero rush to, come home. Like when they like COVID test like 250, $300 each just to go home, the cost of flights, I was like, nope, I'm not going home for Christmas. I will stay here and I will enjoy my life. I will come home when the time is right. But so that's kind of playing a little bit of a role. And also like summer training wise, like just like on a financial basis, like I don't make a lot of money, like I said, like doing YouTube and like having no ice for like 3 or 4 months. Like try making a hockey vlog without hockey. It's tough. You know what I mean? So like when you have the rinks and everything shut down, it's really, really hard to do, both just on a physical perspective and like just like on like my mental health of like, dude, I want to do this. I want to play hockey. I want to create. I want to share my love, and I can't do that. Like, so I'm not going to do that again this year. So I'm thinking, at least what I'm thinking in my mind is, spend some time with, CMAC in Colorado if things go well, but we're still finalizing some details for that, trying to, make a plan. But yeah, do that for like a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month in Colorado would be really, really cool. Rob from Butt Ends was going to join me. I haven't seen him in 2 years. So do like a little road trip. He's got some stuff to do down in Chicago, New York, and then Florida is where I really want to go, because like Florida's like Sweden of North America. God bless Ron DeSantis. Not to get political. Again, I know I keep saying that, but fuck. God bless Florida. And then I got a pro training group, but actually like a bunch of NHL shooters that like training with this like group of guys. And I was like, dude, that'd be great for my game, especially like this deal in Haugesund in Norway. Actually, believe it or not, probably them shutting things down may have actually been the best thing possible, because I got to see the level, I got to do what I wanted to do, and now I know what I need to do to adjust. And there's a possibility they might bring me back as like the third string goalie for the rest of the season come middle of January, like when they're supposed to reopen, if they do reopen. And if I do that, I got 3 months my tryout. And then from there, I can work on all summer on that stuff and then come back. So that could be a really, really good opportunity, especially working with really high level guys like in Florida with the NHL players. So my summer plans are all up in the air as far as that goes, but train will be a staple. That I really want to take the train. I really want to go to some cool places, and miss my family too, man. But like as much as I don't want to go home, I do miss my family.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hardest part, is just missing your family and your girl and everything like that. And like that's the most important thing, especially with the support system that they bring, and like just having like family there. Like it really does help with everything from your mental standpoint, and like everything from getting like them knowing what you're doing is because you love it, and like them supporting you doing that, like that's huge.
Well, also too, like, so like my woman's a massage therapist. Like my mom's a teacher. My dad, he's retired. He worked the railway for 40 years. I think that's where the train love comes from. But like this is my job. Like my options were, go to Sweden, go to play, keep making the videos, work on the podcast, and actually like make money and not go broke and file for bankruptcy and eat out of a box, or go play hockey. So like in my mind, I see it as like I'm here to work and I'm here to get shit done for the time being, because like I don't know what else I would do. Like if I had to get a real job today, I don't know what I would do, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe go work in a kitchen or a bakery, because like I have a culinary background, but I have no idea. Actually, yeah, probably bakery. I love baking.
Yeah. What got into your love for baking? Like I know you have a culinary background from your vlogs and everything that you just said, but like what makes you love to bake food? Like what's your favorite thing to bake as well?
This is a true story, no bullshit. So when I was in high school, I was in grade 10, and they give you the option in Canada for like grade 11. If you want, you can just ditch high school altogether and do a full year of like trade school, like
Yeah.
plumbing, automotive, all that kind of stuff. And my best friend in high school at the time, haven't talked to him in a couple years at this point in time, but like back then we're like really tight, and we're like, you know what? We learn how to cook and bake, dude, we can get some like serious pussy. Like I'm serious, man. If we learn, like we could really, bring it home. So we signed up, and day one going to class, I'm sitting in the culinary library or whatever, like in the room, and I'm like, where the hell are you? Like I'm texting him like, dude, like where are you? I'm waiting for you. He's like, oh, I'm here right now. I'm like, no, you're not. Turns out he signed up for baking instead. So he signed up for baking. I signed up for culinary school. And then so we did the year or whatever. At the end, I needed to get a job for the summer to actually pay for some gear. I needed like a new chest protector, new sticks. So I was like, I need a job. I'll do culinary. And then I ended up doing that for like 3 years while I was playing hockey, and then I did a year of baking. So altogether, I got like 4 years, like as an apprentice under my belt. And yeah, I tell everybody, like, you want me to cook you someone, I can cook you just about whatever you want within reason.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like just how you get into baking. Like what's your favorite thing to bake? Like if you had to make one thing for the rest of your life, like what would you make? What would you bake?
Am I eating it or am I giving it to people?
Let's do eating first, and then you could give it to someone.
Ooh, baking. Honestly, I really enjoy desserts that aren't sweet. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like my favorite thing about like Swedish desserts compared to North American, like in North America, you get a cinnamon bun. It's like loaded with caramel, sugar, like just like you're getting diabetes and like half your bun.
Loaded with all the shit.
Oh, the works. Give you everything in there: whipped cream, ice cream, toasted peanuts, toffee, caramel sauce, the cream cheese, like everything. And as opposed to like in Europe, where it's just like really not that sweet. Like it's like they don't like a lot of sugar. Like sugar is really expensive here, and it's just like they consider pastries as a way to like engage with somebody. Like I got our coffee and a pastry. Now we're having a conversation for the next 10 minutes while I drink my coffee and finish my pastry, as opposed to I'm eating it to enjoy it, and I like the sugar because I like eating fat. So I would probably say a Swedish kanelbulle or cardamom. It's basically a cinnamon bun or a cardamom bun. They're really, really, really good. And so that's what I would eat. As far as baking goes, dude, I love making donuts. Making donuts is one of my favorite things. Like a Boston cream donut. My Boston creams are tight, dog. My game is airtight with Boston cream donuts.
Cool. When you come to Chicago, you're gonna have to bake one in a Boston cream donut for me.
Hey, you pick me up at the Amtrak train station, Union Station, downtown Chi-Town. We'll go to the store, grab some stuff, whip them up real good.
Sounds like a plan to me for sure. Just what's your favorite kind of donut? Like if you had to if you go to the store and pick one out, like what flavor you getting?
Dude, I'm going Boston cream because like a lot of places are really hit and miss, but sometimes you'll find a place where like the custard isn't really that sweet and the chocolate isn't super sugary and the dough is actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
And you get that like European vibe of a pastry. And then other times you go like a Tim Hortons and it's just like sugar everywhere, sugar here, sugar there. It's like, no, I'm good. That's enough for me. Like you're a quarter done. You're like, all right, I'm done for the day for eating. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. And like what's Tim Hortons like compared to like the coffee or like whatever coffee shops in Sweden compared to Tim Hortons?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess in the US you don't have them unless you live in Columbus. But
Yeah.
like Tim Hortons, the best comparison I would say is like run your dishwater and save some of the water, put like a couple cubes of sugar and cream in there, and that's what Tim Hortons coffee tastes like. It's very comparable, very similar actually. No, dude, Sweden, like they're totally opposite. Like first day or first couple of days I got here last year, I go to a coffee shop. Yeah, can I get a double double? The lady looks at me like I had like 3 heads. And I'm like, double double. What's that? 2 cream, 2 sugar. She's like, we have whipped cream. I'm like, okay, sure, put some of that shit in there. So she put some whipped cream. I stir it in there like it's normal cream, and then I'm starting to like think like maybe we should try drinking like a Swede. And then you get the oat milk mixed in there. You get the almond milk, the soy milk. You get, agave syrup, honey, all that kind of stuff instead of real sugar. And like, dude, now I'm at the point where like, dude, dairy out of my diet. I don't have coffee or cream in the coffee, like sugar. Like, dude, for the last, like literally since I got here in August, just honey and maple syrup all the time. Like no white sugar, no brown sugar. It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, that's not bad. And like it's probably way better than way better for you than whatever else they put in that stuff.
Yeah, like the processed sugar. Like it's a little bit pricier, obviously. Like, dude, I feel so much better. Like dude, here's a little insight for you, a little exclusive for you to tell you about the vlog.
Oh.
So I always put clips of me burying fast food or unhealthy shit because it gets every keyboard warrior who is a nutritional specialist. They've studied medicine for the last 5 years in their basement, and they know what's really good for you and what's not. They come out of the woodworks and try to tell you about what's going on. Like Pat Shea and I were FaceTiming the other day, or no, this is probably like a couple months ago. And he's like, dude, I just went on a bender for the last 3 days where I only ate ice cream. He tells me Pat's like one of the most ripped human beings you'll ever meet. Just buried cookies and cream ice cream for like 3 days. He's like, check this out, dude. I bought vanilla ice cream. He's got some Oreos and he's like mixing it in the bowl. He's like, I'm my own like Cold Stone Creamery over here. And like people see that and they're like, you can't eat like that. But like, look how Pat looks. Like Pat is eating ice cream, but he's intelligent about how he's going about it. He exercised the right way. He's counting. Yeah. I like to think he's counting his calories. Like you put that shit in, like the keyboard warriors and the internet trolls go off, as opposed to like, dude, if I put me eating like a salad or like something like really healthy, nobody comments on it. Everybody's like, boring. Nobody cares about lettuce, dude. You don't make friends with salad.
Yeah, everyone be like, this is boring, like boring content there. And like but like when you, like you said, like when you do get like fast food like McDonald's and Sweden and all that, like that's when everyone's like, oh, you're gonna, this is why your performance is going downhill and like this and that and like but like in reality, like you're just posting that to get those keyboard warriors like to comment, and like you're eating healthy as well as eating what you want with that fast food as well.
Well, and to clarify too, like it's not like I'm going out 7 days a week to eat McDonald's for the purpose of views. Like I'm every single time that I go, if I'm going once a week, every 2 weeks, every time I go, I'm filming that and I'm saving it for the next vlog because it'll get people to come out of the woodworks. Like people want to leave their comments, but it's just like, dude, like you're uneducated. Like in all seriousness, like people are uneducated. They don't understand. Like you see these people online who claim to be vegan, but it's like, dude, you're 250 pounds. Like how? Like think about this for a sec. How the fuck can you possibly be 250 pounds when you claim to only eat vegetables? Like how? Explain this to me. How this is logically possible?
That does not make any sense. That does not make any sense at all, because it's like you have to eat some meat or something like that just to gain that muscle and gain weight for that. Like
well, not even that. Like, they probably are following a vegan diet, but like that ice cream you bought at the store is vegan because there's no actual dairy. It's just sugar and processed shit. The cake you bought is vegan because there's no eggs, there's no dairy. It's just straight up flour and sugar and oil and water. Like people are just so. And like, dude, I got a lot of shit to learn too. Like I'm not an expert. I went to culinary school, so I know how to make the stuff, but like everything else I've learned on my own. I've gained knowledge from other people who are more knowledgeable than me. But it's like, dude, like some people are just so uneducated. Like they don't understand. Like I got this video actually coming out in January or February. I'm kind of going to contradict myself. So like Jamie Phillips, my boy, the nutritional specialist, Winnipeg Jets, Manitoba Moose guy. He's a nutritional guy. And we came up with this idea over the summer. I'm going to eat McDonald's for 7 days straight, and we're going to film it. And we've done it. We've done the whole thing at this point in time. The video is complete. So I'm curious if anybody can pick up at what point in the vlog that happened, but that will be a full video coming probably in January, maybe February. McDonald's for 7 days straight. Here's how I performed. And every keyboard warrior nutritionist, every expert on Instagram is going to come and tell me how this was a terrible decision.
That's fine. That's gonna be a good video for sure. And check out Jamie Phillips' nutritional book. On the Spot gets you $25 off. Just saying.
Oh yeah, wait, we gotta hawk the code. We got a code. Where's the code?
Yeah, On the Spot.
On the spot code. Sorry. We got $25 off for Philly's book.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. So there's my sponsored clout there. But
Side note, he is selling the same diet that he gave me for the McDonald's challenge. He's selling it for $10,000 if anybody wants to buy it. Game used Trav diet plan.
game used. It's worth every penny of it. Worth every
Not
penny.
authenticated, but it is game used.
Absolutely. And just going into like nutrition a little bit here, like what do you eat in like a day when like on a game day, like what do you tend to eat on a game day?
Okay, so here's an exclusive. You won't see this in the vlog because nobody gives a shit. But dude, usually I don't eat until like at least 11, maybe 12 every single day. I just find like when I don't eat first in the morning, you come down, you get some water in you, bury some water, bury some greens, like a greens mix or whatever,
Yeah.
coffee or whatnot. Like it just, the hunger goes away and your body accepts like, hey, I don't need to eat every 30 seconds and become like a, quarter pounder with cheese vegan who's 300 pounds. Like, and it's just like, it spaces things out a little bit better too. So like, I'll probably wake up. I mean, it depends on the day, maybe 7, 8, 9, depending on what's going on. I'll have my, like I said, water, greens, coffee. And then around 11 or 12, I'll have like a protein oatmeal. And I've dialed in the recipe. I've actually got this coming up as a reel probably sometime next week or TikTok. So just like oats, oat milk, water, maple syrup, protein powder, and chia seeds or flax seeds, whatever I got going on, stuff like that. And then that'll be a good like 700 calories, just like 60 grams of protein, a lot of protein in there too. And just bury that first thing in the morning, or first thing in the morning, you want to call it that. And then, dude, I've been loving tofu quesadillas. Tofu gets a bad rap, man. My tofu quesadilla game is tight. A little bit of cheese, tofu, peppers, corn, barbecue sauce, crispy tortilla. That crispy tortilla is the key in that melted cheese, man. You get that shit done right, you get it done, you'll be rolling. So yeah, tofu quesadilla, that's about 1,200 calories by the time we're all said and done. Big meal too, fills you up. Dinner is kind of all over the place. Like dinner is what I got going, like whatever I have on hand. Like it might be like for last little bit, I've been really into soups. So like, nice little tomato basil soup, broccoli and cheddar soup, like a butternut squash soup. Or I got some really good butternut squash soup, like stuff like that. Or, like a nice roast chicken dinner, poached eggs on toast with avocado. That I've been doing that the last couple of weeks. That's been really good. Poached soft. If anybody likes eggs done anything over soft, get out of here. I don't want to hear if you be like over hard or poached hard. Like get the out of here, dude. But yeah, dude, it's kind of all over the place. You usually finish the night with some greens, some water. Dude, I probably bury like 3 or 4 teas and coffees throughout the day. Big coffee, big tea drinker, and then mix in a snack, dude. I love those Kex chocolate bars every now and then. They're good. I love the pastries here in Sweden, like the chocolate croissants. I've really been into those recently. They're really good. The cinnamon buns, the cardamom buns, all that kind of stuff. A lot of really, really tight pastries.
Yeah, that all sounds really, really good, and it's making me.
Everybody's gonna listen to that. They're gonna ignore everything I said about the protein oatmeal and the quesadillas and just say Trav loves chocolate croissants. He's really been into them lately. That fat bastard, that lard.
They're gonna pick the worst thing that you said, and they're gonna just roast you for it.
Yeah, they're gonna Joe Rogan me on CNN.
Yeah, absolutely. And just I want to use this last part of the podcast to talk about your podcast, Slangin The Bizkit. So like, what were the origins behind Slangin The Bizkit? I know you and Pat started it like a year and a half ago or something like that.
About 9 months ago.
Wow. It's been a while so far. Yeah. So like, what started and like what made you guys come together and just create Slangin The Bizkit?
Yeah, well, Pat and I knew each other. Well, what has it been? About 3 years, about 2.5, 3 years. Like we met, we've known each other, we've been in touch and whatnot. And I think he asked me to, he might have asked me to come on his podcast like 2 years ago. I did it one time and then he asked me to do it again. It might have been a second time. It might have been the first time. I can't remember, but he had me on December of 20, or it might have been January 21. Yeah. We did the podcast and he's like, dude, like this is really good. It's going to do well. Put up some good numbers. I got a lot of messages from like a bunch of like legit, like pro goalies, college goalies. When I listened to his shit, they were like, dude, that was a pretty tight interview. I hope to hear more from you. I'm like, oh, okay. Planted the seed in my head. And then Canada went back into like a full on lockdown and like March and whatnot. And I was just like, dude, I need something to do. I can't vlog. You want to do a podcast? Sure. So we did it as April Fool's, kind of as like a troll job, but like, hey, like it's not an April Fool's, April 1st kind of thing, but like we are starting on April 1st. And that's what started the every Thursday thing. And then we've been going for 9 months. So this week will be episode 40, the viewer special tomorrow. Yeah, that's been it. Like the podcast has really kind of evolved. Like we've been kind of trying to find, I would say like the first 15 episodes, we really try to kind of find our footing, like what podcast are we, who are we as podcasters? And then we kind of settled in a little bit. Like we're not, a podcast that's bullshitting you for an hour and a half for an interview followed by another 45 minutes. Like we're not spitting chiclets for any of that kind of stuff. Like we're just kind of somewhere, we're kind of a mix, I think, of all the podcasting styles. Like we'll bring on a guest, but it's not a guest interview, it's a guest co-host. Like Jesper Wallstead is co-hosting Slangin The Bizkit with us. We're not interviewing him, although we are interviewing him. He's a part of the podcast or whoever. So we try to integrate people in. We try to have some good conversations. We're not like, dude, there's nothing I hate more than that bullshit answer. Like, oh, tell me what it's like playing, in the SHL and the NHL. Oh, great. We got pucks deep. We got, we got them really hemmed in their zone. 2 points. Like, dude, I want to kill myself.
2 points, get out of there.
Yeah, dude, I'm on suicide watch listening to that shit every time. Like, I don't watch NHL interviews and nobody does. Like, let's talk about the real shit. You get your NHL contract. What was the first thing you bought with it? Okay, dude, you're the most ripped guy on the planet. What are you doing for your abs? Your hair? What's the hair routine? You 2-in-1? Are you a Head and Shoulders, kind of guy? You sell some blue? You got dandruff? What are you doing? Like, what's your thing? It's like, we just want to have an honest conversation, get to know people, and like show the side of an athlete that like isn't seen. You know what I mean? And also in the sense too, like we talked about like right before we started recording, like I love spitting chiclets. Like Chiclets is a really good podcast. Like especially like the old stuff like 2-3 years ago was like really, really like that really got me excited to listen to Chiclets. But like we're not looking for that locker room vibe, talking about kill stories and like drug stories. We just want like an honest, genuine conversation you have with a guy at the grocery store, at dinner, at in the locker room, on the ice. That just buddy to buddy kind of conversation. There might be the occasional story like that leaks its way in there, but we just want to, like the podcast is called, we sling the biscuit with you. We sling that biscuit around and we take you for a full ride, 45 minutes every Thursday at 8 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, there's the plug there that we always want. But yeah, would you say like that's one of your like favorite parts of having the podcast, is just bringing out that other side that you don't see athletes bringing, just having that personality side to it?
Yeah, dude, that's Pat's favorite. Pat tells me about that every single week. He's like, dude, I love this podcast this week because we get to really show the personality of this guy. We get to show this, we get to show that. Like I would agree, the personality is key because it gets people to really buy into you as a person, because you can't really show that personality in vlog format.
Yeah.
I think just being able to share a genuine conversation, like nothing forced, nothing edited. Like we edit a few things, like just for audio's sake, and if somebody says something incriminating and that kind of shit, it doesn't happen very often unless you work at TSN and you're on the podcast. But we just let it fly. We let it go, let her buck.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what people want to see, is just that other side, because they see the sport and them playing, and then the answers that like you have to like censor sometimes, and then you come on podcasts and like you can just hear their story, just have a conversation with them and just hear their how they are personally and just how they're interacting with you, and just it's a whole lot different than what everyone's used to.
Let me change my answer. We are the podcast that encapsulates everything that gets said in the post-game interviews after the Stanley Cup is handed out, but we do that every week at Thursday. It's not like a one-time thing.
Yeah, that's a great answer to that. And it's just podcasting helps with that, and like it's so much fun creating podcasts, especially when you get those good guests on. And like that leads me into my next question, like who's been your favorite guest on the podcast so far?
Yeah, I know we talked about before we started recording, but dude, Jesper Wallstead, and that guy is like such a beauty. I was telling Pat this, and I don't know if I should be putting this on the podcast or not, but I guess we'll say it anyway. Like, I think that got me the most excited about Wallstead was just, he's never been to an NHL development camp because of COVID. So he hasn't been poisoned by the NHL marketing people, the NHL management, like, don't say this, don't say that, watch your social media, be very careful about who you affiliate with, don't like this tweet, don't like that tweet. Like, he's just natural, right? He comes on our podcast, he's talking about how he told his parents, like, I'm quitting school in grade 8, Mom. I have it, I have it, like he wants to blow his money on a jacked up Ram truck, like a nice Ram truck, the first, when he gets his NHL paycheck, because that's what he wants in Minnesota. Like the dude is just authentically himself. And I told Pat after we recorded, and I still stand behind this, that's going to be the greatest interview you ever hear from Jesper Wallstead, because once he goes to NHL development camp in the spring, and then, real camp in the fall, you will not get that anymore. you're going to get the cliche bullshit answers. And like, there's been a couple guys who've had on the podcast that kind of, you know, do those answers, but that's fine. But like, that's not somebody we want to have on the podcast. So, and also the fact that like, he's a 20th overall pick, dude. This guy is going to make so much money in the NHL one day. He's going to be playing games. Like, they're talking about him being the MVP for the World Junior Tournament this year. And we had him on the podcast 2 months ago. And here's the coolest thing. And again, I know we've talked about all this before I started recording, but you know, for the podcast's sake, I put up a video today, you know, filming his warm-ups, the in-game stuff for the World Junior game that his teammate Callie Klein hooked me up for. By the way, these guys have been hooking me up with tickets and whatnot. They're really great guys. And the guy's starting tonight for Sweden and Russia. Biggest game of his life, biggest start of his life, you could say, for, you know, being a 20 bomb for the World Juniors. And he's in the premiere for my stupid YouTube video that, you know, just had some iPhone clips. And he's replying to people. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Go Sweden. I'm really excited to, you know, play for Sweden. Just, you know, engaging with people. You know, he was even talking about the trapezoid out, you know, putting the trapezoid in, you know, screwed up his hockey trajectory because he's such a good puck hammer, which is true.
Yeah.
Like, he's taken that time on the day of the biggest start of his life. So like that alone, I was already the biggest fan in the world, dude. I'm an even bigger fan now because like, he's just a real dude. He's just a real guy. He's just an honest, authentic dude.
Just a guy that wants to talk, have a conversation, just exploit everything that he's able to and that he will do.
He loves the game, dude. That's the thing. I love the game. You love the game. He loves the game. And it's just a universal truth that we all have in common. And he's just a really, really great guy. Like we don't have guests that keep it casual. Like we talk to everybody before we bring them on. Like if you want to keep it casual, you know, you can go to a CBC or a TSN podcast. Like we're having a real conversation. No bullshit here, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And just how's Sweden going to do in the World Juniors this year? Like they have a game coming up and
we're going for gold,
in a few minutes. Oh yeah.
We're going for gold. Dude,
and even my dad says going to be MVP.
Dude, even my dad's calling me a traitor. He's like, how could you not cheer for Canada? I'm like, nobody from Canada is coming on my podcast. Sebastian Costa iced my DM. I DM'd him. I'm like, you want to come on the podcast? Nothing. Crickets. Wallstead rescheduled twice our own cancellation. We fucked up and had to cancel on him, well, at least one time. And then he came on. So, man, God bless Sweden. And then Callie Klang, his backup, you know, fellow countryman, dude's rocking the Traspec Pro laces, dude. Like, and the dude reached out. He's
Sweden's
like,
got it all.
Dude, he's like, I got to try the Traspec Pro laces. What do I got to do to get you a set? I was like, I will get you taken care of. We'll get you in a set. We'll get you taken care of. Now, he won't play without them. He will not play without Traspec Pro laces. He loves them, dude. Like, it's unreal. And that also, that's a third round Pittsburgh draft pick in 20. Like, another guy who's going to make some good money in his career.
Yeah, that's unreal. And just like you see, you have Sweden guys from Sweden come on the podcast. You gotta rep them. Like you're in Sweden right now. Like that's
my boys.
That's your guy.
Hey, and for the first time, we have a real professional goalie using the Traspec Pro laces. Like, come on.
Yeah, like that. Nothing better than that. And like, what's it like having your own Trav spec?
It's cool. I don't know. Like, it's nice to be able to share some with people that like I generally believe is awesome. Like I feel like, and I wish I could, like, the biggest part about playing and doing the whole YouTube and podcast thing is like I don't have a lot of time for this extra stuff, which is nice. Why it's collaborated with Pro Laces, like Mike at Pro Laces takes care of all this stuff. But like, there's so many companies out there that are just fucking sleazeballs, dude. Like, they don't make products that actually help people. They don't care about people. They just want your money. Once they got your money, they're good. Like, dude, I don't make a lot of money off Pro Laces, and I personally offer people a money back guarantee. Like Pro Laces doesn't offer that. That's me on my own dime. If you buy Pro Laces and you or Traspec Pro Laces and you have an issue, I will personally refund you out of my own pocket, because like I don't want a single person on this planet having the same experience as, you know, like Callie, for example, gets, you know, a set for Rogla this year, and his toe ties break like 2 days in. Like, how many guys, and I'm sure you've had this too, like how many guys have had sets of CCMs or Bowers and the toe ties bust in 3 days because they're shit? Like, they're just
mine's
cheap,
about to bust. Mine's about to bust too. Like,
and everybody has this bad experience for toe ties. I'm like, dude, I don't want you to have that experience. Like, I will make sure you're happy. You're going to love them. And the thing is too, and this is the worst decision we ever made for business, they'll last you 1 to 2 years. So you won't be able to buy anything for 1 to 2 years because you're happy, which sucks because I can't get your business again. But you'll be really happy and tell people how great it is. Like, the best, I guess I'll leave you with this one. The best feedback I ever got in the Traspec Pro Laces was some guy did a video review on his True Gear for YouTube, and he's like, I got to talk about the Trav Pro laces for a sec. Trav is an absolute dirtbag. He's a scumbag. I hate him. He manipulates companies. He does this. He just all this bullshit and whatnot. However, I have the Trav Pro laces, and I got to say they are the greatest thing ever. Like, it's not just marketing; it is the real deal. So the fact that you hate my guts and can admit that it's the best pro laces, the best toe tie, the best product ever, that's a win. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, he's supporting you in one way or another, even though he does not like you. Like, he is still supporting your brand.
Or both ways. Both ways are fine. Buy the pro laces, hate my guts. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have to get some Trav Prospect laces for sure, because my toe ties are literally about to rip probably any day now.
What do you got?
I got the CCM E-Flex 4s.
Okay, dude.
Like
we got to get you taken care of. We got to get you in a set.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm really excited to try them, because I've been wanting to try them on for a while, but I just want to get rid of the toe ties first.
Dude, think about the money you waste on laces every year compared to $50 for a set of pro laces. Like, people say it's overpriced, but dude, you're getting the best money can buy and the best feel and a money back guarantee. Like, anybody, wants to message me, hey, I bought them, I hate them, they suck or they broke, I'll give you your money back. Dude, in the last year and a half of doing that, I haven't had one person ask for their money back. And like, all you have to do is message me and say you hate them. Like, it speaks to how great they are.
Yeah, that just proves Trav pro laces are the shit.
I know we keep talking about them because I'm trying to pitch you on them and whatnot, but like, dude, the fact that like nobody's willing to step up and try to get a free refund. I'm sure somebody will at some point, but like, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But I put up some questions for the viewers to ask you a couple days ago, and we got some questions. So we'll leave the podcast off with these questions. So first one was, how do you think the late gear arrival in Norway affected your mental state on the ice throughout your tryout?
Dude, that was, I know it's gonna sound like bullshit, but like, I'm all about impressions, or like a first impression. Like, I was always raised and always had drilled into me, like, if you're not 15 minutes early for your job interview, you're late. 14 minutes early is late. So like, when I know in my mind that, okay, I may have to show up at the rink tonight without gear, and they're gonna understand the airline lost you. Like, that looks bad. Like, that's not a very professional look. Like, you couldn't book flights that were appropriately spaced out to get your gear here on time. Like, that's big for me. And like, I got like an hour before I had to go to practice and like 3 hours before the skate or whatever. But like, I had so much anxiety and stress that day, like wondering if I was even going to get it, because I had a feeling like the country's going to shut down because people kept talking about it. I wanted to make the most of it. So it did play a big role. And that was also the only ice time the coach saw me, because he got at the Cove right after that. And then we got shut down 2 days later. So the only ice time he saw me was an hour before I got my gear. So yeah, that shit definitely plays a role.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you're stressing so much, even from the videos, like you could tell that you're stressing and everything, because like you said, like, impressions are huge, and you show up with no gear, like, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is, like, they'll understand because the airline lost, but they'll still be like, what the fuck? Like you said, like, get better flights that were spaced out better.
Yeah, or whatever the case may have been, like,
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next question is, your biggest surprise hockey wise once you got to Norway.
How good the guys were. Dude, like, I knew the level was going to be higher, but the picture that my agent put in my head, and part of the problem is me as well, for like just being a little bit ignorant to it. Like, these guys are good, man. They're picking corners, everything's barring in, posted. And you saw in the video, there wasn't many shots that weren't barring in. Like, these guys can pick corners, they're smart, they can pick you apart. Like, I was telling our coach the other day, like, there's habits I've gotten into this year in Sweden because I know that they work. Like, I don't need to worry about guys in Division 1 when I know his works in Division 3. And with the first ice time, which you saw, and even the third ice time to an extent, because I was dealing with that groin injury, you saw that like that shit does not work. So they're good, man, and they're a bottom team in that division. Like, think about how good the good team is.
Yeah, it's a huge difference, especially going from what you saw in Sweden, then like you're going on to bottom team in Norway, and like you could only imagine how much better the upper level teams are going to be in like in the league, and you're getting beat by those guys. Like, imagine like when you go against the first place team, like what's going to happen there.
dude, people are still chirping the team. They're like, "Oh, Hogeson's not a pro team. These guys suck." I'm like, dude, put the crack pipe down and get educated. Like, seriously, dude. Like, okay, you want to chirp me for not being a pro? All right, I'll chalk one up for you. You want to chirp these guys? Like, get out, get a life.
Yeah, and like they even had their own digital like marketing team like that they helped you with the vlogs as well and like record your gameplay. Like how is that not having to have cameras on the ice and just having focus on your game?
Game changing, dude. You give the cameras to the guy, you just take him, leave him, and come back to me later. It is so it's the best thing in the world and the best setup for me to succeed because I can just focus on my game and like you're taking care of the vlog for me. I'm not doing the vlog anymore. It's your job now.
Yeah, you
Doesn't get
just
much better.
stop worrying about stopping the clock. That's all you were doing right there.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the next question is, what's been like your favorite barn to play in Sweden or even like the rink in Norway? Like, what's been your favorite barn to play at?
Favorite rink. Honestly, probably a rink in Varberg. Like, if I'm being honest, a lot of the rinks in Sweden suck. Like the ice is shit. The rinks just aren't very nice. Like they're older. Like
Yeah.
our rink is 5 years old, 6 years old. Like it's a new rink. Like, and you can tell from like all the the BMW signs and shit. Like we have a really nice rink. So I'd probably say our rink in Varberg. No bullshit. Like really, really nice.
Yeah, and then there's another question like, what's the worst barn you've played in Sweden?
Oh, there's a lot, dude. There's a lot. The Fleming's rink really sucked. The shower was so disgusting in there, dude. Like you had to have sandals in there if you wanted to go all in
Oh,
there. Like something to cover your feet. Like, um, I don't know that's a toss up. You could pick any. You could probably put them all on a dartboard, throw a dart, and you could probably pick the right one. Like they're all pretty bad. Like there's a lot of them that are really bad.
yeah. And then the final question is like, what's gonna happen in the future for you for like since Varberg like got shut down or like got yanked, and then with the tryout in Norway, like what's gonna happen now with you and like what's your plan?
You're gonna see me keep doing what I've always done, just been persistent and keep chasing down my dream and doing what feels right for me at the end of the day, or however the intro goes. Like, dude, that's what people don't get. Like, I love the game, and this is the greatest job in the world. And like when you've been presented with an opportunity, and granted, you could say like I've made that opportunity through doing my videos and whatnot, but like when you've been given an opportunity to play hockey for a living, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be, compared to working at Walmart, working at any of the other bullshit jobs you can get in the world, like, dude, I'm doing this any day of the week. I ain't training for the world. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I love that answer because you could tell that you have a passion for the game. You love the game. Like I love the game. Like I'm planning on going year one of pro next year, and like just like I'm ready to take on whatever it takes to get to that next level, and like all the obstacles that you're gonna face throughout that time. It's just like you're ready for whatever happens, and like you could only do that by if you really love the game because you're not getting paid that much, but like if you're doing it for the love of the
Or anything.
game. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Dude, I
just
think every kid relates to this. I think you, me, anybody can relate to this. Like as a kid, I always dreamt of like if I had the option to not do school, to not work a job, and to just do hockey 24/7, I would 100% do it today.
100%.
And I have through YouTube enabled that to become my everyday. Granted, yes, I have to do the vlog, I have to film, I have to edit, I do the podcast and shit. But like this is as close to that as you're gonna get without making a full-time salary. Like even guys like in the SPHL and whatnot, like they're working full-time jobs in the summer because it doesn't pay the bills enough. Like I'm never gonna get to a level where my bills are paid 100% by hockey. Like this is gonna be the reality for the rest of my life, just where I'm at. So um I'm living the dream, dog, every day.
Yeah, living the dream, loving the game, like nothing better.
Doesn't get much better, my friend.
Yeah, but Trav, this has been a lot of fun. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I want to wish you the best of luck with the podcast and with hockey, with YouTube, with everything in life, and hopefully you see Sweden go get that gold this year.
Let's go Sweden.
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks again for coming on, and we're gonna have to get you on again for sure.
You let me know when, dog. Anytime. If I got free time, we can make it happen.
Oh yeah.